So, if you're in this season of isolation and you are being currently reconfigured, it's usually what isolation does to us. So, it's a very beautiful thing, though I know it can be a lonely thing. But just realize you are cocooning and you're slowly emerging out to be the butterfly. And what was really coming through strongly today for me, and if you're watching, this will most likely resonate with you, is the ideas that you've had about receivership, so receiving. A lot of them have been what was programmed into you, what you believed was the way to receive, which usually meant hustle, grind, independence, not relying on anything or anyone, claiming your power, right? That's what we're sold to, which often leads to burnout, exhaustion, and not actually being able to fully receive life and feel yourself, because we get lost in that projection and then we continue striving for more, and never stopping, never allowing. And so in this isolation period, myself, I've come to realize that when we take away all those narratives and those projections onto us, you start to realize just how provided for you are. Like, you realize all the support that you are receiving in different ways. And yes, granted, they may not be in the ways that you were conditioned to receive. They weren't in the ways, or they aren't in the ways where you thought you'd be getting. So you don't even see the receivership, the support that you are currently getting, because you believe that it must be a different way. But if you strip all of that away from you, right? You put a pause button, you clear your psyche the best that you can during this isolation from all that fakeness, all that falseness, all that projection. And then you come to realize that, wait a minute, I am getting provided for. Yes, it might not be in the way that I have come to believe that I should receive whatever it is, the abundance, the offers, opportunities, whatever it is. Yes, it might not be that way, but I'm still being held. I'm still being supported. I'm still being provided for. And that right there is beautiful. And whatever resistance you have in terms of not fully seeing that needs to be stripped away. There might be shame of receiving at all. There might be a wound from not trusting people, or the shame that you once were provided for and people around you would call you spoiled or whatever, even if that wasn't the case, right? And there is like this subtle shame that we carry if others think that, oh, well, she's being provided for and she's spoiled and she has this and she has that and she never has to work hard. And then society makes it seem like working hard is the way, that if you work hard, you are worthy, you're good enough, you're this, you're that, and all your achievements, are made of something because you worked hard for it. When in reality, that is not true. You are worthy because you exist, period. Period. Not because you do anything else, because you exist. And the feminine way is to receive, is to be held, is to be provided for, is to be supported. That is the feminine way. That is the feminine essence. It's not the hustle. It's not the grind. It's not the striving. It's not the building. That is the masculine way. That is what the masculine comes in to hold for, to provide for, so that the feminine can come in and weave her magic, bring in her creations down into the physical, and have someone like the masculine help birth that out. So that was a huge realization for me today, because our society is very much flipped and likes to sell the idea of, women should be self-sufficient and liberated and this and like, yes, there is a part of that to it, of course, but for you to be fully supported in your feminine essence means to have a masculine container, that polarity that is able to come in and provide structure and provide protection and to provide for you and help birth these ideas, these beautiful, magical ideas into creation, while the feminine gets to rest and dance with the unknown, right? So for you to get that in a partner, it's first realizing in this current moment, even if this current moment doesn't look like how you thought your life was going to look like, or your dream life, right now you have to see in some way, shape, or form that you are getting provided for. Now I'm speaking specifically to the people who are watching this, and I'm sending out the intention that they are resonating with this message, so I know that I'm speaking to the right collective. You, in some way, shape, or form, are being provided for. Take a look, take out your journal and write it down. Is it your rent? Is it your food? What is being provided for you currently that you're not fully seeing and you're not fully accepting in, because there might be shame around that. There might be some sort of thought or belief or an idea of, okay, yeah, that's fine, I'm getting this, but I need to be doing more, I need to be getting more, I need to be able to provide for myself and do this and do that. Just stop for a moment and first feel nourished in the moment, in the place that you are currently in. Feel nourished where you are. It doesn't matter how much money you're making or who's paying your rent or like it. No, be fully nourished in what you are currently receiving and feel good in that without trying to strive for more. Bask in that magic, in that nourishment that you're currently receiving. Because when you can accept that, when you can fully appreciate that, that's when you open your vessel and your temple up for even more to be received through you and for that divine counterpart that you are hoping and wishing for, that can fully come in and hold you, and so that you don't feel ashamed and belittled of being held and provided for, because that is your role. That is the feminine role, to dance with the unknown, to create her magic from however she wishes to create, and that there is a partner who comes in and helps to co-create that. That's how we restore balance. Because it was never about doing it by yourself. It was never about creating the empire by yourself. It was about the two coming together and building it bigger and more beautiful and more magic. That's what it's about, and that's how balance gets restored. So again, like I said, right now, if you're in isolation, you're in a cocooning phase, but you're close. It's actually close for you to emerge, or you have just emerged, but you're starting to, like, you're getting used to your wings. Take a day, take a moment, take a few days to realize just how much you're being provided for currently and how much you're actually receiving, and be grateful for that. Bask in it. And anything that comes up in terms of shame or limiting beliefs, transmute them. Realize that that is an old part of you that you have been shedding, and that it is your birthright to receive, to be fully held, to be fully supported and provided for. And when you can accept whatever situation that you're in, and however you're being supported and provided for is coming in, just appreciate it and feel good in receiving it. And that is when your temple, your channel will open up even more, and you'll start receiving even more. Because it is your birthright. It always, always was. And you're just coming into remembrance of this birthright. Anyway, I'm going to end it there, because that was a big one for me today, to really soak in and realize. That was a huge realization, a huge breakthrough for me today. And if it was for you too, take some time to integrate this, because this is a big one. Society always tried to make us believe that we need to strive to be independent. We need to be hustling. And no, we don't operate like men. We're not supposed to. So I'm going to leave it there. Let this integrate. Anyway, I hope this resonated. If it did, please let me know. Please let me know if, like, yeah, there was a bit of shame of receiving, or that thought of needing to be a certain way in our society. But just know that all these old ways are currently crumbling, and they're crumbling because it's not working. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.